And welcome back to the CroftCast. You got the Big Kahuna here filling in for John FN Croft while he's Lord knows where. He did trust his old daddy to, I don't know, not wreck his show, but had a great time doing it. I did have a guest lined up for tonight. I've been trying to get one on for some time. I was going to have my oldest son-in-law come for a little sit down, but I don't know if any of you have ever done any remodeling as a married couple, but my son-in-law and my older daughter are doing a remodel of a kitchen. Having done that, if they live through this, I will really be impressed. But anyway, as it turns out, it's not going to work out tonight, so you're stuck with the Kahuna again, which that's not a bad deal right there. But anyway, I apologize for not having my special guest on, and I've been texting back and forth today, and notice I don't have my cell phone with me, so I can't be interrupted. I've got the on-air sign up, so we are cock-locked and ready to rock, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. If he does call me, I'm not near my phone. But anyway, he's working on some details with the... What was that? Well, I'll be dadgum. Look who's here. We have got John FN Croft, who's come back in.
Catch you in the middle of something?
Yes, you did. I was right in the middle of a CroftCast. Turn that mic on.
I think I know how these things work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What's been up to?
Doing good, Hoss.
Man.
Where in the hell have you been?
Well, it's kind of like your bunker. It's on a list somewhere, but,
I don't know if any of y'all been paying any attention at all. I highly doubt it. But we've been throwing hints at you, and John come home to just get a little quality time in, and I've been, we've done some casts before together. We did the can heat sessions, and we
actually got Johnny on the show that time.
And we did actually get Johnny on.
They weren't doing a remodel.
Yeah, they weren't doing a remodel, and he was kind of like, okay. And so we got him on. I wanted to get him on some more, and we will get him on some more. But anyway, we thought,
Chas lets him.
But get this, I called a while ago. I called my daughter, my older girl, and went, "Can Johnny come over and play?" But it's good to have you back here behind the microphone instead of on the other side of the microphone. I couldn't have done any of this at all had not John been here and working behind the scenes. Ordinarily, I'm sure he's doing it all, and you have no idea what all goes into making one of these shows, and it's been a lot of fun. And
for me, not being on this side of the camera, it was actually a little bit more freeing. I got to get into like a little bit more creative producer, director kind of stuff. I mean, you can't see it on the camera. There, maybe we'll show some B-roll or something. But we've got a whiteboard. We've got a production schedule. So I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was definitely a lot of fun getting the Big Kahuna out there. The conversations that you and I normally have, and I will tell you all, those are toned down. I mean,
I've been chomping at the bits to go blue. But anyway, I try to be mindful of those that probably don't like the F word.
Well, it's all rated mature. It's also, listed as explicit. Now, you don't want to think that this lovingly little old granddad kind of looking guy can't drop an F-bomb. Did you ever see George Carlin? Because before we recorded this episode, he went full on. We were just doing a sound check, right? I mean, he's like, how do I look? How do I sound? He's like, I'm not saying anything. And again, we dropped the hints out there. If you haven't watched, if you haven't stuck around past the credits, you could be missing some stuff. It's just a possibility. There were some. We had some out. I mean, there were definitely some outtakes. Not all. Some of them were left on the cutting room floor, but there's stuff after the credits. If you get up and walk out of a movie, and as the credits are rolling, you might miss.
I'll never do that again. By the way, I'll never do it again because sometimes some of the really good stuff is at the very end. My son and I,
we go back a ways. That's what you said.
We go back a ways, and I really feel so. We think a lot alike, and I'm sure I've had somewhat of an influence on him, and I apologize for that. But you know, before we do a show and stuff, we actually sit down and kind of spitball.
I mean, it's not scripted.
No.
But I mean, there could be some topics or like, hey, how do you want to do that? We talk about the lighting. I mean, he finally got the on-air sign, and I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna take the key of the castle back.
I forgot that I was supposed to do that. He made one hell of a key. I've been nervous driving this thing the whole time, and he come up last night and he goes, "Hey, look, Dad, I got a key you can give me back." And so
but I mean, it has been a real, it's been a creative process between the two of us, whereas normally it's just me, and I'm not like trying to come up with necessarily content. Most of it, the whole premise of the show was what's in my mind. I don't know, and you don't know. But these aren't full-on skits. They're not skits that he's been doing, but we've talked about some ideas and the creative process, especially in the edit, because normally it's just me doing the edit. But with your input, now an hour-long edit took 8 hours on the first one because we were learning things. We were learning things.
I don't do technical stuff.
So, Alan Wade, you nailed it.
Here's to you, Wade.
So, but no, I mean, we workshop some ideas. Like I said, I mean, like we had a full-on production schedule of like when we were going to shoot, when we were going to edit, when we were going to do, all the things in between. Have a normal life, work on projects around the house.
We're moving Post-it notes around like, I don't know, piss ants on a watermelon rind. I mean, it's unbelievable. Every day I come home, he go, "Hey, I moved some Post-it notes around," and it's unreal. You just don't think, you just think somebody's sitting here just like vamping. I had no idea, but I'll tell you what's really cool. What's really cool is for all my life I've always been a father. And the father is the boss, and the father is the guy, and that. But what's really cool is when your kids get older and grown and they're out, and then for you to be able to collaborate with your son and take his lead, and sometimes that's hard and it's challenging and all because you've always been the man, but this has been so good because. I know that, well, I can count on my son to wipe my butt when I'm in the nursing home. No, not really. I don't plan on going to the nursing home.
It's good because I don't plan on wiping your butt.
My youngest daughter I've always said, "Now, Beth, when I get old, are you going to wipe my butt when I need it?" And he goes, "No." She said, "That's what you have a son for." Anyway. It's good to have.
It's funny because she's never told me that, so she's keeping that little secret.
She's probably thinking that you're gonna, well, it's my job.
No, I'm not gonna volunteer. Not gonna
see there. So this is why I'm gonna spend a lot of time as an old man
wearing your own shit
or shaking it out my leg, and people going, "Hoo, isn't that precious? Look what that old man just did."
What are you drinking there?
Well, I am drinking a straight up bourbon, and I was thinking now that you brought that into play, at some point in time we're going to have to crack open that bottle of Gunslingers, and I don't know.
It's already open, so I mean,
Really, you've done opened it. Yeah, that's a rye. And so, anyway, we went to the beer store the other day, and I haven't been going to the beer store a lot because I quit drinking. And turns out I picked a bad month to do that. But anyway, and it was a good thing. I mean, I'm glad that I did, and I backed off on it because I was drinking way too much. And people say, John, well, when you quit drinking, did you just quit suddenly, and what did it do to you? And I went, didn't do anything to me. I mean, it's not like I'm an alcoholic or nothing. I'm not. I just I like drinking bourbon, and I was drinking more bourbon than I should have, and I just made a choice to go, hey, it's time to shut it down for a little while, and so anyway, John come back up, and naturally we decided we had to run to the liquor store, and I thought, well, while I'm down there, I'm going to get me. Oh, John brought me in some Lone Star long necks, which I will be cracking out on Thanksgiving.
nothing says Thanksgiving like
A long neck Lone Star, baby.
a Lone Star. Yeah.
If you don't like a Lone Star, you can kiss my buttocks. That's it. But
Now, you know what? Hold on. So, speaking of Texas-only beers, I want to go back several years ago. We, crap, I don't know, could have been 10 or 12. And you'd gone by the Duck Blind after work. And for those that don't know, where the Big Kahuna lives, where he's such a bourbon connoisseur, is a dry county. And when he said we ran to the beer store, that's 45 minutes one way and 45 minutes back. For those of you in Rio Linda, that's about an hour and a half plus the time in the store. So we ran. We didn't run. We got in the truck and drove. I mean, it's like you got to pick and choose your time. Anyway, so the Duck Blind, not a sponsor, but could be. If you you text me, you're like, hey, I'm drinking a Shiner Bock. I was like, well, all right, well, that's
I love Shiner Bock.
Oh, well, that's cool. And this was right after, or shortly after, Shiner had started literally exporting from the Republic of Texas. And I was like, well, that's great, it's cool. And then he texts me a little bit later and you go, hey, when I tabbed out, they charged me for an export. And I was like, yeah, because you ain't in Texas, Hoss.
And that's when I knew then Texas was a whole nother country. Well, you want to leave the country? Go to Texas. Talking about the beer store, making a run. One of the great things that I like to do when I go to the beer store is visit with all the people in there shopping. Now, a lot of people are just running in and they're just running out. But inevitably, I will run into that one individual when I'm over there going through the bourbons, and I will get to have like a 20-minute discussion on bourbon. Not everybody going to the liquor store knows what the hell they're doing.
You got to have a good bourbon guy to count on, though.
Exactly.
Not just the guy working in the bourbon section.
Oh, no, exactly. And I put a lot of stock in some of the conversations I've had. I got turned on to some juice here a while back. I was in there, and I was just kind of looking at the
grape juice,
small, small batch, cracking the seal. Yeah, I don't want that one. Me and this guy, we just started having a discussion about bourbon. And probably there 20, 30 minutes talking about bourbon.
Did he work there, or was he?
No, he was just a guy coming in. He was just shopping like I was, and it was just, I really, really, really enjoyed that. You know what? A long time ago, back before your time, when you would go to town.
That was definitely a long time ago, but according to your youngest daughter, I'm old. So
Yeah.
so I mean,
You're an old guy now. I remember we didn't go to town every day. You went to town on Saturday, and my granddad would usually go in the afternoon. Granny would make him put on clean clothes and shave and bathe, and so
not in that order.
Not in that order. And my grandmother would go, and she'd get her hair done, and it was a whole long drawn out ordeal. And people they didn't go to the store and buy groceries and go back home. They stayed for hours in town and visited, and they may stay there and visit till 10 o'clock at night. You don't see that anymore. When I go to Kroger's, I mean, I'm not sitting out there in the parking lot at 10 o'clock at night shooting the breeze with somebody. But back then, people, they lived out, and when they only came to town once a week, and they visited and discussed things. They discussed things because they didn't have a media constantly telling them what to think.
No internet, no phone.
No.
They have a phone?
It was a party line.
No, so
Yeah.
Hold on.
You had to share it with a group of people.
So maybe the party line was kind of like the original social media-ish. I mean, because that's where you got your gossip, right? If they weren't in town gossiping,
well, pick up
and you're like,
oh yeah, that's what a lot of them did. They would, you'd be on the phone, you'd be talking to somebody, your barn's burning down, and you needed help, and there'd be somebody sitting there on the end of it, listening, going, "Oh, his barn's burning. His barn's burning down. Oh, you wouldn't believe what." And I guess that was entertainment for them. It's just different back then. I mean, nowadays it's just everything is cold and canned and it's bullshit. A lot of bullshit. And back then, though, I mean, neighbors helped neighbors. And not that I wouldn't help my neighbor, but my neighbors, I've got some really good neighbors, and then I've got some neighbors that I wouldn't give a kiss off a duck's ass. What happened to them? They're just, they're dumbass.
Well, they live next door.
But I mean, I've got great neighbors around. It's sad that we've lost that in America. It's really, really sad that I can remember, be on a Sunday afternoon and be home from church, and a neighbor come by and go, "Hey, we're having a ice cream supper get together over at the."
I like ice cream for supper.
Oh yeah, and
for my dessert, I want a burger.
It was like it was ice cream festival. You go over to them people's house, and man, they had 3 or 4 of them old school
churn.
Cranking them, and you just eat ice cream all day long, and it was usually on a Sunday, and then when you
woke up from a lactose coma.
When you woke up from that, then you went to church that night, and it was, man, we ain't got that no more, and I think we need to get back to that. I mean, it speaks volumes. That there's a difference between country people and city people, and there's no reason why the city people can't do that.
But they could, but I think. I'm not going to say it's on the last episode because depending on when these all air, but because I think that one's still in post production, which is another term.
I've lost count.
But you did talk about whatever it was you talked about that I don't even remember what you talked about now. What were you talking about there? Because I don't.
Well,
I sidebarred myself.
You really put it on me there when you asked me that question.
That's okay. Hold on. Check the tape right there. Roll it back. Check the tape, and we'll cut and roll it back in.
We're gonna have to get Gus and Eva in here to read the notes.
We have one note on the board. It says JFNC pop in. That's all it says. Anyway,
I love the credits. The credits. It's a show within a show within a show. A long time ago, a buddy of mine. This was back in the days when I
played music.
That and also may have gotten altered at a time or two. But anyway, we had gone to Thayer, Missouri to buy beer. Back then, they didn't have 30 packs. We had what they called a case of beer, which was 24 cans in a case. And while we were driving up to Thayer, Missouri, which is, well, Sharp County is a dry county. It's not now, but it was then. And we were driving.
Well, hold on, but it's not. It's still kind of dry.
No, you can drive. You can buy liquor, beer, whatever you
Then
want.
why in the hell are we going all the way to Newport if we go to Sharp County?
Because we've got to go up to Ash Flat towards Salem.
But if we went to Ash Flat, we could buy shotgun shells.
Well, that's a good point. Okay, tell you what. I'm almost certain that between the two of us, we're going to have to make at least 1 to 2 more beer runs before you go home. And so, by golly, we'll just head to Ash Flat. May even call Uncle Dave and say, we're going to the liquor store. You want to ride? I mean, this is so funny. Several years ago, I'd gone up to the farm a few days early. We were getting ready to crack open Modern Gun at Camp Slaughterhouse World Headquarters. And David said, I've got to go meet with a client in Mountain Home. He said, you can stay here at the farm and do whatever you want to do, or you can go with me, and I'm going to stop by the beer store on the way when we get out of Sharp County. And I went, okay, I can do that. And so we headed off up and taking all the pig trails and everything going to Mountain Home. And he whoops in it once we got across the line. He whoops into this beer store, and he walks in, he looks at the lady and goes, where's the dolly at? She goes, right over there in the corner. He goes over and he gets the dolly, and I'm not paying any attention. I go over there and I get me a 30-pack of whatever, and I go, oh, look, there's liquor. And so I get me some liquor, and I'm up at the counter, and I'm paying for my stuff, and he comes up, and he's got a loaded down dolly. He's got 5 or 6 30-packs on this dolly, and I said, damn, David.
It's going to be a long week.
Yeah. I said, damn. And he said, I don't want to have to go every day or two. He was buying 30 packs, like by the 6 of them. And
6-pack of 30 packs.
Yeah, a 6-pack of 30 packs. And we don't think about that here. We're only 25 miles from Newport. It's really sad that you can't have a package store or something like that. I mean, I get it. People, people don't want to drink, and they don't want to.
They say you don't want to drink, but then there's so many clubs around here where you can.
That's where the money's at, baby. I mean, for this to be a dry county,
it's the wettest dry county that I know of.
It's the wettest dry county I've ever been in, and it's like tax revenue. And not only do you have the town tax, you've got the state tax, then you got a federal tax, and you got the tax on top of tax on top of the tax. And you go, like now, 25-cent beer now costs like $4, which is ridiculous. Quit trying to tax your way to prosperity. It's stupid. It's stupid. Well, John, health things and stuff, so we think if we just really jack the tax up on tobacco. No, they're not. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep paying it. So I know what you're doing. You can give a rat's ass about my health. You don't care.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money, Jerry.
That's right.
Show me the money.
And so
say it. Show me the money.
Say it. Well, anyway, they can kiss my fat American red, white, and blue ass. I know what it's about. Well, I said, John, well, gee, don't you like driving on the blacktop? And not really. I can deal with the gravel roads. Hell, I don't mind putting a new front end under my truck every
year.
every 6 months. I mean, bullshit. You're.
Would you like to have a horse and buggy? You probably would.
I would. I'd get off on that. In fact, I'd be perfectly happy just to have a donkey or a mule to ride on.
Well, no. Let's.
I look good on a donkey.
You look good on a donkey, but Uncle Dave had that mule, and that was a rough ride. Now that Polaris that he's got, that's a smooth.
Oh, now I'm gonna tell you something about them Polarises.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but would be glad to do a commercial for them. I'm available.
Wait, hold on, wait. Do you want to do a commercial for him? Hold on. You ready? Make sure I'm on.
It would go something like this. Hey, these are some damn good vehicles right here. Uh-oh. I think we may have somebody else in the background over there.
That's not how it goes. But
anyway, they are. I could not believe how smooth the ride is on that Polaris that he's got, and does not even compare to that mule from Kawasaki that he's got.
But if they want to be a sponsor, I mean, come on,
give me a call. I'm available.
He's available. He's retiring. He's Big Kahuna coming to you. Hey, I'm down here at the Big Kahuna store, and you want everything Big Kahuna? We got Big Kahuna mules. We got Big Kahuna Polaris. And it's like,
I will sell your stuff for you because I know about stuff.
We got plenty of stuff.
I got stuff. Everybody got stuff. You can't have too much stuff. I can move your stuff for you.
And a wrap.
And with that, catch you on the flip side.